This short video will help you with your Excel spreadsheet in the gas laws lab of general chemistry. If you're unfamiliar with how to perform simple calculations with Excel, hopefully you find this helpful. So what you see here, the yellow columns represent data that you need to enter after watching a short video in the lab, and the columns with the blue headings represent columns that we're going to have to calculate values to. And so what we can see is from the lab, you should have generated a column with the volume of the syringe data shown here, starting with 20 milliliters and going all the way down to 10 milliliters. And we need to convert this volume from syringe volume to the total volume, which includes the syringe and the gas pressure sensor in milliliters, and then convert that volume into volume in liters. And finally, we need to take the reciprocal of that, or we need to take 1 divided by the total volume. And we can use Excel to perform these calculations and have Excel do it fairly quickly for us all at once. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So what we can do is I'm going to start off and click on this cell C10, and it's the cell total volume in milliliters. And if you recall, the volume of the syringe initially reads 20 milliliters, but the total volume of the system is the volume of the syringe plus the gas pressure sensor. And that gas pressure sensor has a volume of 0.8 milliliters, so we need to add 0.8 to all of these values here. And that's a fairly simple calculation, but we can do it very quickly on a large number of data using Excel. To start, I'm going to click in that C10 cell and hit equals. Once you hit equals in Excel, it's telling the software to perform a calculation. And now we just have to tell it what calculation to perform. So I'm going to tell it to take the value that's in B10, and I'm going to click on that cell. So if you put your mouse and click on it, it's going to take whatever value is there. And then I'm going to tell it to add 0.8. Once I have my calculation, I'm going to hit return, and you can see it's done the calculation for us. Now, that is a simple calculation, and you can do it quickly, probably in your head, but the power of Excel is once I have that formula in place, I can click on that cell, and you'll see the cell is highlighted with this green box, and then in the lower right corner, there's a little square. If I put my cursor right on there, you can see the cursor even change from being white to black. Once it changes, I can click and hold, and I can drag. And when I drag down, it's going to drag that formula down. And so now we've got the entire column of data calculated for us. And because in that first column, we put B10 instead of entering 20, and it's always referenced to the cell next to it, we can fill down that column. So what I can now do is go through and quickly calculate the total volume in liters, and then the 1 over reciprocal volume as well. And we can do that very quickly as well. And so total volume in liters first. So here's our milliliters. We have to go to liters. And so I'm going to do that again by starting by hitting the equals key. And then I'm going to click the C10 now. I want C10. And I want to go from milliliters to liters. So I'm going to divide by slash 1,000 milliliters per 1 liter, and hit return. And now I have the volume in liters. Finally, what I can do is I can come over to the 1 over volume, and now we want to take this total volume, but we want the reciprocal. And so what I'm going to do is come to this E10 cell. Again, always start with the equals, but now I'm going to start with 1 divided by, and what I want to divide by is whatever value is in this case in D10. So D10, hit return, and there's our value. What I'm going to do next is I can now actually highlight both of these. So if I, with the left mouse button, click and hold, highlight both cells, I can actually come to this fill down box and drag both of them down together. And you can drag them down as far as you want, all the way to the end, and it fills down the entire row. Now, the other thing you might want to do at this point is, this is giving us a whole lot of decimal places that we probably don't need. So what we can do is highlight these cells and come up to our decimal place buttons, and you can see increase decimal places, decrease decimal. So I can hit decrease, and maybe we can say we probably only need a couple decimal places, so maybe we'll go to 2 decimal places on all of those values. And so what you should be able to do is fill these the rest of the way down, go to the data and fill the pressure in kilopascals, and then convert that to pressure bar using a formula just like we did there. Thank you.